Ah, Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it ain't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe haven. But there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is a new home for our new arrivals. And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy, what happened. And if any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be left in ruins.
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den, and they don't seem like they'll be moving on in a hurry. Nasty bastards they are too. I've lost some good men to their raids. Would have sent someone to clear 'em out sooner if my boys didn't already have their hands full fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon it's time we made our move. What do you say? Fancy leading a raiding party?
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have bandits sully those memories. I'll gladly drive them out of there.
And I know the men will gladly follow you. I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be able to win the place back. And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too. Why don't you go and talk to him?
Of course.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first. So Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rosfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us, not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I. Which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful if you would. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues running for the hills.
So, what can you tell me?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen at our last count. And rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than likely still be crawling with Akashic. A small force would suffice to clear the village, but if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and a very hard place indeed.
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic who come too close. Make sure I'm not taken unawares.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself, my lord.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few bandits.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead. We'll be with you before long.
All right. I'll meet you at Eastpool then.
We shall see you there. And may victory await our coming.
or face the consequences. That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes to... slow. Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching? I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashik.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away, before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. And without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them. And not a single Akashek in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send a Stolas.
And we will, my lord. Safe travels.
Eastpool lives again.
Let's go and tell Martha the good news.
Ah, there you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of me own. What matters is, you did it. And now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need, the rest is ready to provide it.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
The bandits may be known, but look what they've left us with.
Gone, just like that. And without so much as a by your leave.
What's the matter?
It's my apprentice. He up and vanished while my back was turned. I'd go and look for him myself, but I've got a bakery to run. A bakery that's now short one pair of hands. Loath though I am to rely on the kindness of strangers, I'm at a loss. Please, will you see if you can find him?
I'll see what I can do. Do you know where he might have gone?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang. He used to work there, you see. Poor fool left his heart in its hollow.
All right. Then that's where I'll start.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Straight home now.
My blade yet lingers, and so do I. Come, let us feast on your flesh. Your feasting days are over.
Those who kill for sport deserve no better. Excuse me.
What do you want?
The baker sent me to find you.
I am a sorry, selfish sod, aren't I? I'm certainly not a baker. Master must have ruled the day he took me in. Time was the sight of the Fang used to calm my nerves. But now look at her.
I take it you missed the Mothercrystal.
I hated her, but she was all I knew. Worked her mines for years. And when she shattered, part of me shattered with her. I had to trade my pickaxe for a rolling pin, but I'm no good at baking. Every loaf I touch collapses. My bread's as hollow as I am. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. Oh, I loved her, damn it. But now she's gone. She's never coming back. What am I supposed to do? I ask her. How does a shell of a man learn to live again?
Perhaps you could express yourself in your work. If you miss the Fang, maybe you could recapture it somehow.
Recapture it? I'm a baker, not a... You know, you might just be right. What a fool I've been! I have to get back to the bakery right away. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. You've opened my eyes.
Wait. Suppose you won't be needing an escort then.
Ah, there you are. The man who lit a fire under my wayward apprentice. Though I worry you might have stoked the flames a little too high. He damn near ran me down trying to get to my oven.
Master, it's ready. Behold the Drake's Balm. A truly unique creation.
I dare say it is.
Just look at it. A perfect likeness of the Fang herself. Her steepled peaks, her fulsome spurs, her inviting hollow. True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but what's the Fang without her crater? Why, no Fang at all. And look, inside. She's filled to bursting with a bounty of beautiful crystals. Salt crystals! Master, I have found my purpose. I must use my work here to preserve the memory of the Fang.
Well, if it tastes half as unique as it looks, I'd certainly say you're onto something. Not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally pulling his weight. With any luck, I might even have a new delicacy on my hands. I don't know how you did it, but you have my thanks.
What's happened? Pardon me, but would you happen to be a fighting man? That well-notched steel and impressive physique. I have need of a sword for hire, and yours looks to be a weapon well worth the coin. Might you be convinced to offer me the use of those formidable arms?
How exactly do you intend to use them?
Well, being something of a scholar of Zemeckis history, I wish to investigate the ruins near the city. And I require a rugged companion, lest I find myself waylaid by ne'er-do-wells or the beasts said to roam the area. Should you accept, you will not only earn yourself material wealth, but partake of the true treasure that awaits us there. The rich and storied history of Zemeckis. Well, were you ever party to a finer proposition?
My arms are yours.
Wonderful! Then come. We must away.
But where are we going?
Along the old Zemeckis road, and from there, onward to discovery. Quickly! There is not a moment to lose.
Wait. Good luck with your ne'er-do-wells. I'd better make sure he doesn't get himself killed. What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
Why am I not surprised?
You'll have only your coin if you're not. Good for you.
Are you hurt?
Happily not, good sir. Thanks to your timely intervention. More importantly, we have arrived. Now, feast your eyes upon the marvel before us. Ruins, a relic of the fallen civilization. A sight so common that man is oft blinded to its wonder. Colossal vessels, dashed from the very heavens. Airships, we call them, with very little thought to what wonders such a word might describe. Oblige me if you would. Does anything strike you as peculiar about this particular specimen? Though we ourselves find fallen ruins to be nigh indestructible, whatever gouged the final sin from the rock cleaved clean through the structure you see before you. A tantalizing mystery, no doubt, but merely one of countless enigmas in which Zemeckis history is steeped. Come, good sir. Our expedition continues, and we still have much to learn.
He's passionate. I'll give him that. All right. Nordic. All right then. Who's first? You're going to get yourself killed.
Oh, that would not do. That would not do at all. Not when such majesty stretches out before us. Behold, the final sin in all its glory. As Moss tells us, a battle was fought here in ancient times. A battle of such ferocity that it tore a great crater in the very land upon which it was waged. In reaching for their holy sanctum, did man enrage the gods, and great was the vengeance that was rained down upon him. Alas, the full truth of the matter is lost to time, though I live in hope that I might see it discovered. But we must not dwell upon such things. There is more yet to see. Onward! History awaits!
Good girl.
Yeah!
Into trouble this time.
Finished.
Still in one piece?
It would seem so. Once more I am in your debt, and once more you impress me with your prowess. These were no ordinary foes, but ones we in the field call Echoes. Though Moss the Chronicler concurs with the legends in attributing the fall of Zemeckis to a wrath wrought upon mankind by the gods, he offers little in the way of explanation. Could the ruins we see before us here, in all their elaborate beauty, perhaps suggest an answer? Could the construction of such miraculous edifices have been considered an encroachment upon the province of the divine? Alas, all is mere speculation. But one day, perhaps, I will learn the truth.
Not if you keep running headfirst into trouble.
You are right, of course. And not only have you plucked me repeatedly from the jaws of death, you have proven yourself a willing audience to my ramblings.
Glad to help, but didn't you say you came here to investigate something?
I fear I may have rather overstated the case on that front. In truth, a captive ear was all I really desired. You see, even my fellow scholars have grown somewhat weary of my musings of late. And so I came upon the idea of purchasing a companion. A captive audience, if you will.
That's what this was all about.
I am afraid so. And now, my good man, it is high time we returned whence we came.
Fine. Just don't go running off this time.
And so ends a delightful day. Here, your reward for humoring my selfish whims, plus a little extra for the trouble I have put you to.
What's happened? Guards at the gate.
If we're going to do this, we'll need...
Clive, your timing is impeccable. It just so happens that right at this very moment, we're in need of someone with your talents.
And what talents would those be?
Why, your fearlessness, and your skill with a blade.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over the Republic, so too did a wave of chaos and confusion. Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers have lost their masters, or taken the opportunity to flee them. None remain free for long, of course. Most find themselves under the protection of the Fist before they get far. But the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges, which means it has been looking to sell.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more, and for an attractive price, no less.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, we have nowhere to house them. So we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. Somewhere far from the prying eyes of those who would see them enslaved once more. And we believe we have found one. Cashlock. A small hamlet hidden in a canyon. The place was abandoned a long time ago, but when the men moved out, the beasts moved in.
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman to encourage them to look elsewhere. You'll help, won't you?
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation of our guests, as we discussed.
Of course. Leave everything with me.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village to stock and furnish. Residents and all. Even if I begin right now, I'll be working day and night. So I'd better get started. Try to clear the place out before the wagons roll in, won't you?
I'll do my best.
You will find a village in Chairdra's Thread, past Laetny's Cleft. My man there will open the gate for you.
All right. Wish me luck.
I'm sure you won't need it.
Let's go.
must have been a nice place once.
And it will be again.
I think that's the last of them.
I think you're right. Is something the matter, Theodore?
Quiet. Those are our terms. I trust that you will give them your full consideration.
I shall. Thank you.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes. And, no. But enough about him. How did you fare down in Cashlog?
It's done. The village is safe now.
You made quick work of it, as always.
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me keep you. But Clive, don't tell her I was watching her, will you? She'll only get upset. I'll explain everything once you've finished with your report.
All right. We'll speak then. Eloise, I just got back from Cashlog. The village should be safe now.
Thank you, Clive. Here, something for your trouble. Well then, now that you have laid the groundwork for our little project, I suppose we'd better finish the job. The first thing we'll need to do is make sure our offer for the bearers is accepted.
You're still in negotiations?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf, but things have been trickier than we anticipated. I suppose it's to be expected. This is the army we're dealing with. Fighting's what they do. But we shall emerge victorious in the end.
Well, if you need any help, you know where to find me.
I'm not sure I do. But thank you, all the same.
Ah, Clive.
You wanted to talk?
The man I was watching earlier, the one speaking to my sister. He represents the Silver Peak Consortium. It's one of the bigger trading houses.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Well, every trader in Dhalmekia has. They operate across the length and breadth of the Republic, and they're still expanding. They've been trying to get Eloise to join their ranks for some time now, and judging by her reaction earlier, I'd say she had half a mind to accept their latest offer.
And you'd rather she didn't?
I would rather she did what makes her happy. And I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery. And we have striven to save others like me ever since. But this was not the life my sister wanted, nor the one she deserves. I won't let her give up on her dreams again for my sake. She freed me from my bonds, and she must be freed from hers in turn.
You're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what my sister did for me, and I want to repay the favor by letting her live her own life. But each time an opportunity to do just that arises, she turns it down. For my sake.
She loves you.
And I love her. Which is why I want this time to be different. To show her that I don't need to be watched over anymore. Though I'm sure I'll still need some help from time to time. I trust that I can count on you.
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, I had better get back to work. These bearers aren't going to move themselves. That's a job for the Crimson Caravans.
I see you've been of some assistance to Eloise. Perhaps you can extend me the same kindness?
Perhaps. What would I be doing?
Finding someone. You see, I've been having trouble with thieves, and despite the many pains I've taken, I can't stop them from rummaging through my packs. I was griping about my lot to a friend of mine a few days back, and he offered to track the culprits down. Now, Joseph's a sellsword, and a good one at that. But he's been gone days, and I'm beginning to fear the worst.
Any idea where his search for the thieves might have taken him?
The old Zemeckis Road, perhaps? He doubted they would be fool enough to linger here in Boklad. Joseph's lived a hard life. Made him grey long before his time. I just pray he hasn't been killed over a few sacks of grain.
I can't imagine there are too many grey-haired sellswords around. Hopefully someone will have seen him. What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
This is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through? What do you want? I've no coin on me.
Just information. Has a sellsword passed through here? Grey hair.
Now you mention it, there was a young man with salt in his mane sneaking around out there a while back.
Which way did he go?
How am I supposed to know? Buggered off down the road, I expect. Now why don't you do the same and leave me be?
Come on. Faster!
We don't want any trouble.
Neither do I. I'm looking for someone. A grey-haired mercenary.
Well, we haven't seen him.
Yes, we have. We saw him climbing up the rocks. And those ones, over there.
Maybe he found his thieves.
Mum won't let me near them. She said there's goblins up there, and that they eat little boys for dinner.
Shush now. You've said quite enough already.
I only told him what you said.
I'd listen to your mother if I were you. Did Joseph's thieves really lug their stolen wares all the way out here? I think we found our thieves. They don't look happy to see me. Let's get this over with.
Stop! Don't kill him, he's just protecting his home.
Joseph? So the boy was right.
I don't know you.
Your porter friend sent me to find you. She was worried you might have got yourself killed.
Have I been gone that long? It wasn't hard finding the thieves. The problem was knowing what to do with them when I did.
I take it things are more complicated than they appear.
I'd all but ruled out bandits before I even left the market. You know why that is? Because our thieves had no interest in gold or gems, or anything they couldn't eat for that matter. Add to that the rumors of goblins in the area, and the mystery practically solved itself. I soon found their cozy little homestead and all the missing food. I launched myself at them full of righteous fury, but their leader was the only one who moved to meet me. The others, they huddled around that food, ready to die protecting it. They stole because it was that or starvation. I've been there myself, back when times were hard.
So you spared them? And earned their trust into the bargain by the look of it.
These goblins aren't native to the area. They don't know how to survive such barren lands, so I've been teaching them. And once they've learned to hunt and forage, they won't be fool enough to risk their necks in Boklad.
I'm impressed. I didn't know goblins could be reasoned with.
Do me a favor. Let the porter know I'm safe. I'll head back to the market once my work here is done. Oh, and don't mention the goblins. I don't want people coming here brandishing pitchforks. Not now this lot have sworn off thieving.
Your secret's safe with me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Joseph's fine. He'll be back once he's tied up a few loose ends.
That's a weight off my shoulders.
He certainly knows his business. You found your thieves all right. And I dare say they won't be coming back.
A good man to have around, that Joseph. And if he says there'll be no more thieving, that's good enough for me. Thank you for putting my mind at ease. Here, for your troubles.
needs a porter when there's
Do you have any fresh water?
Now I just need to see about getting the word out. I want to know right away.
Bad news.
Good, actually. Something worth celebrating for a change. Only trouble is, the serving girl's still new to the job, so I can't leave her while I go and invite those I'd like to celebrate with.
What exactly are you celebrating, if you don't mind me asking?
I've come by a particularly fine bottle of red. A Gotan 66, no less. Gotan Rouge is the only good thing to have ever come out of the Empire, and most wouldn't part with a 66 if you held a knife to their throats.
So I've heard.
Oh, so you know of it then? Clearly you're a gentleman of taste. A gentleman who might sympathize with my predicament, perhaps? Would you pass the good news to a few friends of mine? I'll give you a little something for your time, of course.
Sounds simple enough.
So you'll do it? Marvelous. Thank you. You won't need to go far. All three of them should be right here in the market. There's Aldrich the porter, Milan the butcher, and Bolek, a guard over at the north gate. Three of the finest fellows in Boklad, if you ask me. Tell them to come to the tavern when they've finished for the day. Stop by again when you let them know, and I'll give you your little something.
I'll be right back. I've been asked to find Aldrich, the porter. I don't suppose that's you, is it?
That's me right enough. You need something delivered?
The innkeeper sent me. He said there's a cup of Gotan 66 with your name on it when you're done for the day.
A 66? Look at me. If he's just got hold of it now, it must have been in the crates he had me carry down from Sanbrek.
From the Empire to Boklad. He must be a braver man than most. That's a treacherous route at the best of times.
Such is the porter's lot. There's not a patch of storm these feet haven't traipsed across. They'd Sorrowflam one day, then off to Canva the next. The farther you're willing to go, the fatter the purse. Which is why there's no shortage of competition for some of the longer routes. I'd say I've done enough for today to earn myself a cup of something tasty. Thanks for letting me know.
Who needs a porter when there's nowhere left to go?
Well met. You've a discerning eye. You're welcome anytime. Please, a piece of fruit.
Are you Milan, the butcher?
That's me. What can I do for you?
The innkeeper's just had a special delivery. He thought you might like to join him for a cup of wine after you pack up for the day.
He knows me only too well. And I've got a ham here that will go handsomely with a nice drop.
Wine and ham to spare. Boklad clearly isn't suffering then.
Comes with being the place everyone has to pass through to get to everywhere else. Those who travel the Crystal Road bring all manner of goods with them. We get meat from Sanbrek, herbs from Rosaria. Why, sometimes we even see curiosities from across the Narrow. Or rather we did, till not so long ago. These are lean times, and even Boklad isn't the bustling trading post it once was. Still, there's no point dwelling on it. Better to live life while you can, eh? And on that note, it sounds like there's a cup of wine needing my attention.
You'll buy something, won't you? Please. You've raised the price.
I'm looking for Bolek. I was told he'd be guarding the gate.
Well, you found him. You're not here to enlist, I take it?
The innkeeper sent me. He's just taken delivery of a rare vintage, a Gotan 66. He thought you might like a cup.
I've never said no to a goat hand.
I'm not about to start now. Thanks for letting me know.
You must be a busy man.
No one's making for the refugee camps anymore. Not after what happened in the Dominion. Meaning, they linger here instead. I spend more of my days moving beggars along than I do manning these gates. What gets to me are the gangs that prey on the poor sods. As if they haven't suffered enough. Some days you can't help but wonder what the world's coming to. You know what? That wine's sounding better by the moment.
Well done. I wonder if the innkeeper might spare a cup of that wine. I spoke to your friends. They'll be along soon.
That's fantastic news. Thank you kindly. It's been a while since we all sat down together. And the way I see it, that wine is as much theirs as it is my own.
How so?
Well, I wouldn't be serving anything but slops without Aldrich to go and fetch the good stuff for me. And then there's Milan, who always sends customers my way. And Bolek, an even-handed keeper of the peace, if ever there was one. Those three are the backbone of Boklad. Lose any one of them, and the market would soon fall apart. And without the market, I wouldn't have a single customer. I'd say that's worth a bottle of 66, wouldn't you?
And more besides.
Everyone needs a shoulder to lean on. Be they world-weary innkeepers or brooding swordsmen. Right, I'd better prepare for my guest's arrival.
I hear you had me carrying a bottle of Gotan 66. If I'd have known, I would have sold the thing and lived like a lord. I'll settle for a cup, though, if you're in a sharing mood.
A Gotan 66. Just as well I had something special of my own set aside.
A bottle between the four of us might not be enough to drown our sorrows, but it can't hurt.
Here they are, the three pillars of Boklad. Sit yourselves down, gentlemen. The woes of the world may be monstrous in many, but there's nothing like a few good friends to keep the misery at bay.
Never a truer word spoken.